Everybody, hopefully you can hear me. I have a little bit different of an audio setup this time just to figure out the Saxodrone setup, which I'll be demoing in length later. And so I'm not even using my microphone because I was like, oh, that's going to be too much with the headphones and everything else. So I guess I don't need headphones right now. Hi, Chiwako. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Thanks. I appreciate that. So today I'm going to be getting into the Saxodrone thing that I've been working on for a little while, and really excited to get to this. This week has been good. I've been making a lot of progress in terms of figuring out how to get mental health back on track and how to, get ready for a performance that Emma and I are doing tomorrow, which is really exciting. And so, I feel very optimistic this week in general. So I'm really excited about all of that for that to come together. There aren't really any Control AV updates right now, but I felt a lot of like how would you really put it? Just sort of like nothing was going anywhere with the Control AV stuff for a little bit, but then I had to remind myself it's like, these things don't happen overnight, and there's no use in like beating myself up for not being where I want to be in a certain project or a certain thing. I'm really thankful for people like Tiwanku who have been attached to this project so far, and I'm really after looking at the archive and like I really want to start building up. It takes time building up like a repository, an archive of streams, and then once we figure out once we get a little better at what we're doing, then it's like it'll be a lot easier to introduce that to new people. And so I'm really excited about that realization, and I can like forgive myself for not, being where I imagined I was gonna be not too long ago. So there's a little pat myself on the back for once. This week I really wanted to introduce everyone to the Saxodrone project as I've been putting it together. So the idea was that I was inspired by a whole bunch of artists after going to Moogfest and a bunch of other festivals. Like, what if I did like a saxophone, like live looping kind of thing? What if I could add guitar pedals and basically do what the people using guitars and violins were doing, and apply that to my instrument, which is the saxophone. And through that exploration process, I've found what works and what doesn't, what sounds interesting and also what doesn't. So we'll definitely get into that. I want to figure out, I guess, like the best way of showing y'all the pedals, because right now they're connected to they're all connected and hooked up. So I wonder if I can get the webcam up and running so I can show everybody what the pedals look like and all that. So we'll have to do a little bit of a stretch for today, but right now the video capture device isn't on. Let's turn that back on. Okay, so you can see now my setup. I'm only using 2 pedals at the moment. I've got the DoD Bone Shaker and the Maris Enzo with the preset pedal, and I'll definitely get into that later. But I'm just using a few pedals, and of course I'm hooked up to my Eurorack setup, and I'm only using the Mimeophone for like delays and things like that. But I really wanted to, I was inspired by folks like, Sun, the drone metal group duo, and they have been a huge inspiration because it's like, never have I heard, distortion used in such a warm and vibrant setting. Never had thought of distortion as like a powerful and even like spiritual experience using like heavy distortion in the way that they do. And I have one of their vinyls, and like, listening to one of their records, it's like, drone metal, distortion, like all these things are super important for how I'm trying to craft the Saxodrone sound. Hey Emma, hope you're doing well. Yeah, it's super inspired by them. There's another artist I saw at Moogfest. Her name Sudan Archives. So she's more in the hop scene now, but she led this workshop on how to do like live looping and stuff, and she had like this giant Boss looper with like it had like three different tracks on it, and she played violin, and she had some like ambient noises, and she had like this track with like birds and things, and it was so soft and so soothing, and then she started making little plucking sounds on the violin, and like those were looping, and then she started playing like a few notes on the violin, and like those were looping, and it was so good. And I was like, ever since like going to that workshop, I was like, well, how can I recreate that using my instrument, which is the saxophone? And I was really interested in using improvisation. I think it's so funny because like this is exactly what Emma does. I wanted to use improvisation to sort of guide the sound in ways that I wanted to, because like I've always felt like in live performances I want the sound to go in a direction, but the composition is like, oh no, this section comes next, this section comes next, and all that. But I wanted to be a little bit, as I'm like still learning and figuring out what exactly I want. I wanted to keep it more improvisational until I'm like, yes, this is a song. Like, yes, I want to record this. Yes, I want to like write an EP. And there's nothing wrong with like either of these things. It's just, I think it's just personal preference and that kind of thing. Yeah, we're gearing up for a gig tomorrow, and this is sort of me rehearsing, but also like, promoting the show. How I'm feeling about an in-person gig, mixed feelings. It's very mixed feelings, because on one hand I'm like really excited that I know that the organizers are gonna do a safe job, and I really feel good about playing in front of people for the first time in about a year. But on the other hand, I haven't been vaccinated yet, and I think a lot of other people haven't been vaccinated yet, and so that uneasiness is really not going to go away until the majority of people are vaccinated, until that kind of thing. And it's complicated. Like I don't really have any problems with it, but there's just this like back of my head kind of like uneasiness feeling. Was like, this doesn't, just because there's been a pandemic for so long, nothing's gonna feel right until we believe that it's over, right? It's sort of this like mental back and forth that's happening. Yeah, I'm so excited to start doing live performances again. I would really love to do a remote live performance with Nick Chiwanku. I would love to figure out how we can perform for a live audience, but one of us is in like a different state. That's a problem I want to solve, and a problem that like we could also like live stream that live event and like do all this fun stuff. And I don't want this Control AV sort of thing to end when when it's okay like meet up with in person again. I really want to incorporate this technology and like all the things that I've been working on for the past year to really go towards something in the future. Yeah, I'm so glad you're down. It's gonna be a little bit of a hurdle. It's gonna be a little bit of a technical hurdle, but I think we can do it. We've already been going at it for so long. So the other thing I wanted to talk about for Saxodrone is that about a couple months ago I started making a sample pack, and I think I'll be able to demo. I don't have that up right this second, but I should be able to demo a few sounds at least. I have them I know where they are on my computer. But what I did was I did some recordings of my saxophone through the pedals, and then just did some light edits, and you'll be able to hear all the results. So I'm going to start with the drone samples, the sort of the thing that makes what makes Saxodrone Saxodrone, and the sort of sounds that I made in sort of like a studio environment as opposed to like a live environment, and the difference is a lot. So hopefully we can hear the sounds that are happening. Yeah, I think and turn down the volume a little bit. So there's one sort of drone sound. I'm going to go ahead and loop through them all real quick. This is just a quick taste of so this one was absolutely inspired by Sun. You can hear the influence. My pedal has an arpeggiator, and I had a lot of fun with that. The big thing about this one is that I have a reverb pedal that really gave it like a sense of space. So yeah, there's a quick couple of the samples. I made that as a sort of way to collaborate with other people who are doing sort of like remote things. And so if you're watching the stream now and you're like, I think I could do something with these samples. I can send you the draft sample pack as it is, and when I finally release the full thing, I'll give you the download key or whatever it is, and then I might put a price on it for the Bandcamp version, for the final version, but obviously if we're friends and all that, I'm not gonna put that paywall up. It's just sort of like we're just sort of testing the waters at the moment. And so that's a little bit of the work that I've done so far with it. I still have to run everything through, well, not everything, but some of it through a auto-tune filters so that I can make them better samples, and samples that work better with sort of traditional digital audio workstation environment, or traditional beat making or traditional songwriting, so that it's a little more in tune, because the saxophone is a little bit out of tune, and the things that we're doing kind of went out of tune, so I need to adjust that back a little bit. The other thing was that I was trying to get this to work with title cycles and title looper, and it was working, but I'm having trouble with the sending it out from ES8 and then getting it back into my system so that I can stream it out. So, and I have been having some problems with actually streaming it out, so you may not be able to hear actually title looper unless I can get my mic aux cable into my computer using a separate cable. It's way too confusing, because if I were to use title looper, here, let me show you the Eurorack setup. So right now, the title looper comes out of the ES8, right? So you can hear the sounds come out of the ES8, the full loop with title included. But if I loop that back to the input for the stream, then I start getting a whole bunch of feedback, and you won't be able to hear it clearly. Now, what I'm listening to is this mixer, which has like four different inputs, and that's not connected back to my computer for streaming. So while I can hear my full loop, you can't. And so, unfortunately, I don't think at the moment I'm going to be able to do live looping with Tidal. However, I think I will be able to do looping with Morphogene. So I will be able to send the saxophone into the Morphogene, and then you'll be able to hear that. So that's I might need like just a minute to set that up. And I'm probably just going to start the performance at 6:30. So if you'll give me about a couple minutes to rewire these things, I'm gonna play for a little bit. I guess the start time of this stream is 6:03. So I guess at about 30 minutes in, I'm actually gonna be ready to play. So without further ado, unless anyone has any questions right now, if you have any questions, I am able to take them. But if there are no questions, I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit of rewiring, and I'll be ready to go. All right, y'all. Let's. I'm gonna have to mute my microphone because it'll pick up the saxophone, and it'll clip pretty hard. So let's jam. Uh, so the sound of the sax is triggering the sample loops. No, yeah, I'm directly routing my saxophone in using the Strymon module I have here that converts the guitar pedal level, line level, to synth level. And then I can route it to the morphogene and Miniaphon. Hopefully that makes sense. And I was able to I was able to route all that and play, record my saxophone onto the morphogene, like so. Yeah. All right, so probably gonna do another one. This time featuring some more microtonal stuff on ring mod. So please enjoy. And yeah, this will be the last ones probably. So stay in touch, post in the Discord, and just let me know what you're feeling, what you want to do, and let's make it happen. All right, y'all. Tuanku, I'm excited for your release too. Tell me how I can, either in Discord or whatever, tell me how I can share it. That sounds great. Alright. Thanks for tuning in. I had a good time. Hope you did too. Be same time again next week. 6 p.m. On Thursdays. And yeah, I hope everybody has a good week. I don't know if it's going to be recorded, but now that you say that, it's probably going to be recorded by the audio person in his mixer. So probably yes. But yeah. Alright, y'all. Have a good one.